Source. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first episode of the rebranded Nothing But Nugs podcast. I'm Christopher Nelson. The second, this is Garrett Bridges. Garrett, what is going on, man?
How's it going, guys? An interesting week in Nuggets basketball. I think we were ready to maybe almost throw in a towel, and then they showed up on defense.
Imagine.
Fun. Yeah, it was nice. It was in a game I thought there was going to be, 275 points in. No, thank goodness they got a big win. Needed win.
They did, and they picked it up against a team that would have dropped them to sixth had they lost, and that's kind of terrifying. See, because here's the deal. Before we get into Tyus Jones, and actually before we even get into that, before we get into your trivia question for today, weeks ago, I was like, Joker's hurt, Cam's hurt, Christian's hurt, Aaron Gordon's hurt. This is going to be the period of time where they just lose a crud ton of games and fall to sixth in the West.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it. And now a decent amount of people are healthy, at least a lot of the key contributors, and they've decided that this is the time that they're going to slip to sixth in the West, darn near.
Wouldn't you rather be now than April 11th?
Yes.
So there's still some time. I know we expected Gordon back already, but I think that's coming soon. I think Watson's coming back soon. You take a couple more lumps for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it's time to go. I mean, they have that gear. We all know that they have that gear.
Yeah.
You've seen Jokic play better. You've seen Murray play better. But yeah, just the rest of the roster and rotation, there's just a lot of questions tonight. As it's been mentioned on on our Instagram feed this week. Christian Bounds here and there with his shot. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Tim Hardaway. Sorry, but
hey, by the way,
Jalen Pickett is no chance of playing again this year. I mean, if that's not evident at this point, then what is?
Yeah, fair enough.
My boy Tamar Bates got waived.
I know
that really made me sad. Wearing my Mizzou stuff today just to shout him out.
Yeah, by the way, when you watch this back and you take a look at the new intro video, you'll notice that the Christian Brown image I have, because I have an image of pretty much every key rotational player the Nuggets have, the image of Christian Brown I have is one of him like going up over Brandon Pajimski. So I figured you would just absolutely adore that based on
white on white crime. You don't see that every day.
White on white crime. Actually, German on Polish crime. So
you had to sneak your wife in here somehow. I appreciate that. That's very thoughtful.
I'm glad that that's the reference you chose to emphasize. Anyway, how about we dive right on in to your trivia question?
Yeah,
I have a good one. I don't know what it's going to be. This is our new icebreaker format that we're doing here on Elevation Pulse Sports. So, Elevated Pulse Sports. What are you thinking about asking me this fine evening? So
when you asked me this, I was really excited, and I knew that the agendas that I've thrown at you might be able to throw you off in this first one, because this question is easier than you think, and it's a real nice start. I'm going to get harder as the weeks go on, but I want to hear who and how many for the most 3-pointers in a single game by a Nugget
in franchise history.
For the Nuggets.
Dang, that's got to be recent for sure.
Yeah,
is absolutely. It Jamal Murray?
Is that your final guess?
Do I get 3?
You'll get 5.
I get 5. Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
That's extremely generous.
Again, easy question. We're going to give you less room to wiggle around as we go on week to week.
Oh, I see.
So Jamal Murray's your first guess. That's going to be
incorrect.
You want to give me a number?
That he made in the game?
Mm-hmm.
11.
So the number is correct.
Okay.
But the person is wrong. So on to the next one.
Oh my gosh.
You have to know this. This is really, anybody who's not even a Nuggets fan should know this, I think.
Wait. You are kind of surprising me with that sentence and thought, because
Well,
my next guess was going to be Aaron Gordon.
So Aaron Gordon is incorrect.
He was 10 of 11 from 3.
He had that awesome
on
game 1,
opening night,
which is just so out of body for him. But
10 of 11.
Probably the most, can we say that's the most surprising and fun Nuggets performance in the last 12 years, like just out of nowhere?
Yeah. First
Great.
game of the year, he's like, I'm
Steph Curry at Steph Curry's place.
Yeah.
Unthinkable.
Okay, but it's not him. So someone else made 11. I feel like I watched this game.
You've probably seen this. You've probably seen this. Yeah. You were alive for this. I'll even give you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I can't believe I'm giving you hints. I'm not going to give you a ton of hints.
I don't get hints. So my first 2 guesses are incorrect. Does this person still play for the team?
He does not.
Oh. Well, that's weird.
You can think of the agenda that I constantly bring up on this podcast.
There are so many that.
Well, it's not Tim Hardaway.
I was gonna say that's
not who it
is for who it's not.
Yeah.
Now, who could it possibly be? I feel like I watched this.
You have watched this. I have watched this.
Was it in the last 8 years?
No.
Really? Last 15 years?
No.
Oh, well, then I didn't watch this.
You're not that young.
I didn't start watching closely till 2012.
Okay, but this is somebody that it's going to make sense.
Melo.
It's not Melo, so you got 2 guesses.
Oh, left. I have 2 guesses left. Oh, man. Really? Who else would even get the amount of looks necessary in a game to make 11 threes?
It's a great question, but you're going to get mad if you don't have this right.
Yeah, because this is like what happened in trivia on Rockies Now earlier in the week, where I was like, I feel like I know the person, but I can't place them in this context. Yeah, so I got it wrong. Rockies Now. Seems like I'm going to get it wrong here if I don't get it. I'm
enjoying this a lot.
In 2 guesses.
Everybody on this, I think everybody on here that's watching knows this.
Was it a guard?
Yeah. Well, it's not Jokic, dude. I mean,
J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith is correct.
Oh, dude.
Nice. I was gonna say there's no way you would really I'd have to keep him from self-harm if he didn't get. You would have been really mad if he didn't get that right.
I would have not been happy. That is correct. Okay.
So J.R. Smith, 2009.
Oh.
So just outside that 15-year period.
Just outside, yeah.
I will tell you, J.R. Smith is easily my favorite Nugget of all time. Not even close. And I love Michael Porter Jr., but yeah, I watch the dunk on Gary Neal almost once a day.
Is that the Spurs one?
Yeah.
J.R. Smith. We just saw a man fly. That one.
He missed his calling, guys. Look, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a compilation of somebody watching that, hearing the announcer saying, "No, we just saw a man die." And that was my favorite ever. Shout out Oprah Side. I don't think he does videos anymore on YouTube. But
oh, no. Oh, well.
Also a guy named Oprah Side.
It's quite, yeah.
It's a great YouTube channel.
It's a phenomenal name.
Okay, this week, like I said, super topsy-turvy week for the Nuggets. Offensively, I would say mainly. Defensively was also they give a lot of points to Utah the game before. Let's go to that first game. Chris, tell me what you think about the game we literally predicted 10 minutes before it happened.
Well, yes. First, we have to talk about Tyus Jones briefly.
Okay.
That was the news of the week that wasn't game related. He played last night, 6 minutes?
Do you know, here's the worst thing is the only thing I can really remember from that time is how bad he got blocked. It was really bad. I was like, oh man. And Tyus Jones has been a solid backup point guard for 8, 9, 10 years now. Is that right? Yeah, because he was on that team that Jahlil Okafor that won at Duke.
We're just getting old really fast.
Dude, I'm way older than you. What do you mean? But I think that was a really good idea. I just wonder if Tyus fits what they're trying to do. And I would love to hear your thoughts.
I think he does. This move was not surprising because people had kind of connected him potentially to the Nuggets in the past. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he fits a position of need, right? Which is a point guard. And this is something we've literally talked about on prior episodes of, I guess, Hoops and Homers, RIP Hoops and Homers. But I mean, the Nuggets need a ball handling point guard to be able to come off the bench and be that lead man in a non-Jokic lineup. Presumably also in a non-Jamal lineup, because it seems like both of those guys are on the court at the same, or at least one of them is on the court at any given point in time. And you really do just need to have the ability for both of them to just get a break so that they can run an effective two-man game together when they're both out there on the court. So Tyus, I think, ideally fits that. He doesn't need to score. He can shoot well enough. And so, I mean, you saw even in the Lakers game last night, he made some solid passes in the flow of the offense that I was like, oh, solid. He even rifled one, I think, at Christian Brown one time. I was like, whoa, all right then. So he's really just out there to be that floor general kind of guy. It's kind of like Monte Morris from like the late 2010s, early 2020s. That's really what he's out there for, ideally. Again, I think they probably just signed him for depth reasons, but hopefully he gets into the rotation at least for like 9, 10, 11 minutes a game, just to help the team out in that aspect.
I think it's really important, like you said, the 9, 10 minutes, even 12 to 15, maybe for a little bit, just because like we've loved this Jamal season. It's been unbelievable. He was special this week. But there's a really pretty loud injury history there, and he's been in a lot of playoffs. So like more than ever, I mean, the time was right now to give him a rest where he is just taking it easy. He's got a towel over his head, drinking Gatorade. He's not going to get that much in the playoffs.
No.
So good signing. Haven't had a true point guard on the team as a backup. I would argue since Monte Morris is really the last good backup point guard they've had on their team. Bruce Brown was effective in this role, but he's not a true point guard when they won the championship. But this is, there's got to be a change of pace guy. Whether I think he fits the roster or not doesn't really matter. It has to be somebody right now. It's just got to be somebody.
Well, you also had KCP on the team that won the championship in 2023, and he wasn't actually a point guard, but
he'd bring the ball up sometimes to give Jamal some rest.
Yeah, he was a veteran who knew how to effectively operate the pick and roll aside from Jamal, right? Because that's not something Bruce Brown does. It's not something any of the forwards do. Cam Johnson has kind of tried to fill that role. He has not been good at it.
He can't do anything right, but we'll get to him later.
Yeah, we will. But so that's kind of the role that they.
That was you like me sneaking that in. Yeah, I kind of warned you. I've warned you the entire time.
You have.
Yeah.
I might honestly almost be willing to cave on that perspective.
You're pretty close, huh?
I'm kind of close. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, bottom line.
St. Patty's Day, you're out.
I know, right? Yeah, pretty much soon.
Okay, back to you though.
Yeah,
point.
It's that's about it. So I like the Tyus Jones signing, if anything, for depth. Hopefully he gets in that rotation and can be a solid guy who provides rest for Jamal and Joker, at least throughout the rest of the regular season. Postseason's a different story. So
no doubt.
Yeah, we'll see. But now it's time to get to weekly recap and player analysis. And so, yeah, let's start with that OKC game that you wanted to start with. They were winning for most of that game. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't it crazy to say they kind of let that game away? I mean, that's a game they could have won.
They did.
I don't know if you want to say should have won. It's OKC on the road, but I think there are going to be people on here that believe that. I'm not sure they're necessarily wrong.
They're not wrong. That was a very interesting game. They put themselves in a position to win that game, surprisingly enough.
Your boy played pretty well.
THJ.
Dude, you guys are not that close. You need to knock it off, bro. I'm so done with you.
Who else is my boy?
It's not Deron Holmes.
It's not Deron Holmes. Thank you for that piece of advice and that very fun fact. Cam Johnson.
Yeah, I mean you're dangling on the monkey bars for now. You're about to fall off into the grass. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So no, he did not. I mean, he played better than he played against the Timberwolves. We'll get to that later on. But, yeah, okay, so that was an interesting game. Who was the third leading scorer for the Nuggets in that game?
Jokic and Brown were tied. They had 23. So that's tied for second. And then fourth would be Tim.
Tim, nice.
Yeah, Tim had 16. He was 6 for 12 from the field and 4 for 7 from 3, which, by the way, if he averages something like that in the playoffs, they're going to the conference finals at least.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that's happening. No, I'm saying I don't think he's shooting 53% from 3.
Well, how many did he take?
7.
Wow. So 4 of 7 from 3.
I think you're thrilled with that output from Tim every game.
I am. I'm very thrilled. Well, because most of the season he's come closer to that than not.
I would say if you get 4 of 8 and 2 of 5 from 3, you would be thrilled.
Yeah.
That's good enough for the playoffs.
Maybe 3 of 6. I'll say 3 of 6.
50% from, I'm saying on average for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Wow, you love Tim Hardaway.
I do. But he's just going to get.
His dad is jealous of how much you love him. Tim Hardaway Sr. is like, that guy really loves my son.
I do. I really do. And maybe this is why, right? Because during the offseason, I was like, okay, Tim Hardaway Jr., that's a solid signing. And then in preseason, I saw them bringing him off the bench as the 6th man. And I was like, oh, I didn't anticipate him in that role. It's kind of interesting. Then he started crushing in the 6th man role early on in the season. And I was like, oh my goodness. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And so I've kind of just had to maintain that perspective throughout the entire season because he's just been that incredible. I mean, if you take a look even at his averages for this last week, I mean, they're kind of down. He averaged 14 points on 9 shot attempts, 50% from the field, 44% from 3.
That's good enough.
Yeah. And very efficient with the turnovers, less than a turnover a game on average. So he's really going to get some opportunities in the postseason. If you're going to have the double Jamal and Joker a lot of the time, who's going to be left open? It's going to be Timmy.
Well, here's the sneaky piece here too. Najee, Spencer Jones, Strother all have 0 in this game. So just 3 guys that play minutes for this team that give them absolutely nothing. Cam has 7. Joker has 23, 17, and 14, but it was not efficient at all. I would say that if he didn't bounce back in a big way, and some of the games later in the week, we would have started. We're not questioning the guy, but it would have been like, hey man, is he okay? Because he was not very good in this game for his standard.
This is true. Yeah, and he's still kind of working back from the injury, which is fine.
Right, which is okay.
He had an overall solid enough game to the point where we were winning late and kind of
right. Look at us nitpicking, right? Like I'm saying, if he goes 12 of 25, they win the game.
Yeah, and I mean all the contributors that you're missing out there too. HE
totally.
Spencer Jones,
Deron Holmes,
Peyton Watson, Deron Holmes, Cam Johnson.
Can we admit that your KJ Simpson experiment has expired?
No, because he's on a 2-way contract. He wasn't going to be up here forever. He was just going to be up here until I guess we signed Tyus Jones.
He's not playing in the playoffs like ever.
No, he's not. He's definitely not. But I don't think
We'll see about next year.
Next year's a different story. Okay, fair enough. So, all right, that was how that game went. It really, honestly, felt like they should have won that game. They lost it in overtime, in an overtime period where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't even play.
Right.
Which is kind of cracked. But, I mean, that's all right. It's still a tough team. Even though they don't have Jalen Williams, it's still a tough team. And so, all right, there's a reason they're pushing 50 wins at this point in the season for a reason. I'm not going to be too upset about that loss. It was close. You competed. That's really all I wanted. I didn't want like a 15-plus point blowout.
Here's what I would say, though. I think hey, man, I feel like we let one slip away type energy carried into Sunday.
It did. It kind of did. Well, they also came back home to Denver, too, and they have not been good coming back to Denver this season after a road trip for whatever reason. I will say, based on our predictions from last week, I did win this one. I had a good week overall with the predictions, by the way, in this competition that we had. I won 3 of the 4 games after losing all 3 the week before and then losing the Clippers the week before.
After I lost the first week, I had utterly dominated you the last 2 weeks.
You crushed me. You won all 4 games since the first week.
Which is hilarious. And then, I think I told you guys it was going to come back to earth for me at some point. It did.
It was this week. Now, the Thunder game was pretty close, all right? I was within 3 points. By the way, this formula that I have that's calculating the score actually does take into account the total points scored, not just the game differential. So
that would help me a lot more because this is really where I lost a lot of ground this week. Because I told, like I said, I had the Laker Nugget game a lot higher scoring than you did.
You did
because of that. I think that was Probably my biggest loss this week.
Yeah, and somehow that was a closer deficit than the game on Sunday against the Timberwolves.
Right.
You won that game by an 11-point difference. Yeah, so that was a very solid.
They haven't killed their demons with Minnesota yet. It's just they haven't. It's not there yet. I'm not even sure Minnesota played that well. They played just good enough to win, but droopy energy from the Nuggets throughout.
You know, the funny thing is about this game, actually, the score I predicted last week for this game, where the Nuggets would win 113-107.
Yeah.
If I had predicted the exact opposite score, I would have won that game too. So
it's a bummer.
I
really feel for you.
I had the right idea, but the wrong execution. So that's all right. Yeah. What happened in this Timberwolves game? To me, it just felt like they got out physicaled. They just got outrun. They got out energized. They got out everything in that regard, fundamentally, not even just basketball. It's not like it was quote unquote even game. It's just like you felt the physicality from Minnesota just carry throughout the game in a way that you just didn't feel for the Nuggets. Totally
right. Minnesota's a team that uniquely can throw more guys at Murray and Jokic than anybody else can. It's always been the case, and that's why they're the kryptonite. Jokic actually played really well in this game. Not a ton of other guys did. Christian Brown played okay. Tim Hardaway had another good game. But, I mean, you kind of prefaced it earlier. This is the Cam Johnson I've lost all faith for some fans type game.
What was he? 0 of 6. How many minutes did he play?
23. He got 23 minutes of cardio with 4 fouls, a turnover, and he was 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3.
And 0 points.
Yeah, 0.
No free throws. That's absolutely incredible.
I don't remember him taking one.
I don't think he even got one. Yeah. So that was mighty disappointing. I did not anticipate that when I was picking this game last week. Here's the thing, man. I'm actually going to say something kind of interesting. I think at this point in the season, not only is Peyton Watson better than Cameron Johnson is, I think Spencer Jones is better than Cam Johnson is.
And I might surprise you too. I would start Bruce Brown or Tim Hardaway over Cam Johnson. Both of them. Cam Johnson is, you see 2 of those games in the playoffs, you don't play him the next game. That's how bad that was. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Everybody's losing belief at this point, and you're even starting to crack. And I know you were. I was actually. Yes, I love Michael Porter Jr. Cam Johnson, I thought fit the team better, brings them more defense, probably a more unselfish player. Even though that was what Michael Porter Jr. was asked to do, is he did what he was supposed to do. But I thought Cam was going to be a really good fit here. He's kind of the first player ever to not be better with Jokic.
Yeah.
It just seems like he doesn't understand the scheme. Him and Adelman aren't on the same page. He's not on the same page as Jokic, which is the first human alive ever to not be on the same page as Jokic. It's dire. It has to get better now.
Yeah. It's about go time for Cam.
If Watson and Gordon play well, would you even play Cam at all?
See, now that's interesting.
Because you still have Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway and Strother. There might not be a role for him.
See, here's the thing, right?
Because they're not going to play 12 guys in the playoffs.
No, they're not. That's a lot. They're probably going to slim it down to 8.
8 or 9. Right?
So if you had to slim it down to 8 or 9, I don't know if he makes the cut, right? Because right now he doesn't. No chance. There are other forwards on the team that do what he does much better individually than he does it. So Peyton Watson's a better shot creator than Cam Johnson is, and a better shooter right now than Cam is.
What odds could I have given you on that before the year? Peyton Watson outshoots Cam Johnson.
You would not have gotten me to take
$1 billion?
No.
To 1?
No, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. You would have had to give me an infinite amount of money to even come close to betting that. Now, I would not have been something that I said. So I cannot believe that we're in this situation right now. But here's the one thing Cam's kind of doing all right. He's kind of getting boards and getting blocks. He actually led the team in blocks per game this week, believe it or not, despite being an absolute cone on offense.
He said he had 0 in this game.
Yeah, he had 0 everything, it felt like, in that game. So
cardio,
full cardio workout for Cam Johnson against the Timberwolves. That's fine. But like I said, P. Watt's a better shooter right now. Spencer Jones is the more intense, active defender at the 3.
I would go as far to say all those guys do everything better than Cam.
I don't know if Spencer Jones gets blocks the way Cam does, but that's about it.
Do you need blocks from your 3 or 4? I mean, you can. It's helpful. It's useful. But like Cam is also meant to be like an off-ball defender and an on-ball defender in ways that, yeah, the blocks are nice, but I don't think you've even gotten the defense you wanted out of him this year, have you?
Not
for what you were expecting.
I think it's probably an upgrade over MPJ defense.
I mean, you're not gonna. I'm not gonna get a lot of pushback there. I do want to cut you real short, just because as we're recording live here, then they play the Knicks in 5 minutes. Do we want to just touch on that game and then do the rest of the games later?
Yeah, sure. Let's make our Knicks. So we're jumping to next week predictions just for this
one. Then we'll go back
now because the game starts in 4 minutes, but actually starts in 10 minutes.
Right.
And actually starts in 15 minutes. So
right. Love NBA broadcasting that way.
This is why I love baseball so much. This is why baseball is my favorite sport.
It actually
the
starts
start time is 6. The start time is 6:37. It starts at 6:37. Not a second past that.
Shout out TBS.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out TBS. Shout out NBC now, I guess.
That's going to be fun. Are you excited for that? Because I'm really excited for that.
I'm excited. I like centralization. And so I like that NBC owns all the Sunday evening stuff. I think that's just cool. So I like it for that reason.
I love the old scoreboard they did this week. I don't know if you saw that. The old throwback scoreboard.
Didn't see it. But
I forgot. You're only 10 years old.
I know.
So, yeah.
Hey, 9.5, dude. Okay. I don't turn 10 till next 2 months.
I hope Tabea did watch this.
Okay, Knicks. All right. So here's the situation with the Knicks. All right. You want the layout? Here it is. All right.
Really good team.
Really good team. All right. Last 2 weeks, they've had the best defensive rating in the league.
With Cat and Brunson on the same team.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
Yeah, look at. I was gonna say Tom Thibodeau, but I guess it's Mike Brown. Never mind.
If there's any Knicks fans, they just threw a TV remote through their screen watching this.
Sorry, Knicks fans.
They're a little heated. Those guys in New York,
just a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
They're gonna be even more heated tonight after.
Oh,
wow. Well, let's start here. Okay, so they've been mid offensively over the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. They've had the number 1 defense over the last 2 weeks, rating wise. All right, their last 3 games look like this. They crushed San Antonio, a healthy San Antonio. 114.
Beat Victor into submission.
114 to 89. Okay?
Is that good?
That San Antonio team was top 10 in offensive and defensive rating.
That team is terrifying if you watch that team.
Yeah, they obliterated that team.
Yeah.
In New York.
Beat them twice, though. Won the play-in, or what is it? What's that thing called?
The NBA Cup.
Yeah, the NBA Cup championship. They won. They beat the Spurs as well.
They did do that, yes. Then they proceeded on to Toronto. They went up north and they crushed the Raptors 111 to 95.
Sorry, RJ Barrett.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sure he didn't love that trade. It's only gotten great since he got traded.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Knicks fans loved that. That Toronto team was middle of the pack offensively and defensively. All right, so they crushed top 10 and a mid team. Then they lost close to OKC by 3 points.
Right.
At home.
No Mitchell Robinson in that game.
No Mitchell Robinson. Okay, fair enough. That Oklahoma City team, believe it or not, last 2 weeks, bottom 6 in the league in offensive rating.
Yeah.
But top 10 in the league in defensive rating.
Well, if you guys got you got guys like Lou Dort that can just do whatever they want. We won't touch a lot on that. I think you guys probably know how we all feel about that incident in general.
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah. Really good Knicks team, really tough test. You probably the most balanced team in the league is actually what I would tell you. That's how I feel personally on offense. And I don't like this matchup for Denver. I don't.
Neither do I.
I'm gonna say Knicks 111, Nuggets 105.
Knicks 111, Nuggets 105. All right. Well, I'm looking at the fact again, last 2 weeks, Nuggets actually in the last 2 weeks have had an offensive rating of 117 and a defensive rating of 110, both of which are top 10 in the NBA.
It's good.
But to be fair, San Antonio, similar situation, and San Antonio got torched. So I don't know if the Nuggets are going to get quite as torched, but I'm going to, what was yours again?
111, 105.
111, 105. Okay.
Look, I actually picked a lower score for once.
I can't believe that. Garrett not picking an absolute obliteration.
Right.
Is unheard of. Give me the Knicks to win this game 117 to 1. I'm going to say, actually, no, I'm going to say the Knicks win this game 118, 109.
It's funny. You said the Knicks are not going to like coming here, and then you pick the Knicks to win. Look at you.
I had to get you all hyped up just to make the exact opposite pick.
Are you a fisherman?
Yeah. Well, in this particular competition, I am. Yeah. All right. So we've made our Knicks pick. Enjoy that game. Hopefully you listen to us while you watch that game. Don't leave us for that game. But yeah. All right. So we'll get back to the
or just watch it right after and skip ahead. You can skip through commercials and probably be on the same timeline.
Yeah. Pause the game and then go back and watch
it. That's what I meant.
When we're done. Yeah.
There you go. You did it.
Nice.
You got there.
It's beautiful. All right. So, okay.
Let's go back.
Yeah. Back to, okay. So the Timberwolves game was what it was. All right. You got out physical, and that's just the way it was. But then you got to go play the happy-go-lucky Jazz team. Which
you were thrilled about getting to play them. I was a little more worried here.
You were.
And I think that this is probably the best game I picked all week. Well, I guess you said Minnesota was for me because I knew that was going to happen. Utah's a sneaky. Did you know that Utah averages 120 points a game?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
For a team that is actively tanking. It's a lot.
Oh yeah.
Turns out I can get a bucket on Kyle Filipowski if I want to right now. And despite, I think, another lackluster effort, the game before, I think, really affected them. I really do believe that. They found a way. I would say, this is one of those this is such a trap game in so many ways. They found a way. It was concerning, but they got through it.
They did. It was a weird starting lineup for Denver, too. They went with a double big.
Gosh, I hated this.
They went with the double bigs. Now, okay, Val only played about half the amount of minutes that both Hardaway and Brown did. So,
yeah,
for what it's worth, he started. He didn't finish, right? So, that's all right. Still put up 13 points in 17 minutes. It's not bad.
Tim had a great game. Do you want to read his stat line for? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
Awfully convenient. Hey, he had 6 rebounds. Give him that. You'd like rebounds and blocks for guys that don't do anything in the rest of the game.
Oh my goodness.
I'm using Cam Johnson's point you made to just shatter other people that your agendas. So thank you for the opportunity for me to just slip right in.
Of course. That's what I'm here for, honestly.
You really are. What a facilitator. Selfless guy. Yeah.
Optimal
they won, though. They won the game. Not everybody played some guys played well. Jamal was awesome in this game. It wasn't perfect. But luckily they got to play Utah. They would have lost to 25 other teams that they played the way they played in this game. But they won. That's all that matters.
Yeah, they barely won.
Barely, right? It was a nail biter in ways it should not be.
The weird thing about this game is that it felt like they were so hesitant to do anything offensively.
Right.
So they scored, but it's like every single shot they made, it felt like, came at the very last possible second you could get it off. It's like they had good looks, but then the guy would get, whoever it was, like Christian Brown, whoever it was, would get the ball and they had a good look and they'd be like, who can I pass it to?
That's Christian Brown's career, though. I know he's been shooting more, but he always passes up 8 looks a game that he could shoot?
Yeah, but it was Strother, it was Bruce Brown,
everybody. Yeah.
It was like, guys, you know, someone other than Jamal Murray can take a shot, right?
I think you lose 2 games that you don't think you should have lost, and I think that got in their head a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. So they were,
but luckily they still scored 130 points, even despite all those things.
Yeah, well, because Utah decided that it would be a good idea to just not let the Nuggets take any shots, and so 28 personal fouls in a game is absolutely crazy. The Nuggets, I think, shot 31 free throws in this game. Check for me. Was it 28 of 31? I think it was 28 of 31 that the Nuggets were from the free throw line in this game.
32 of 35, which is out of control.
Oh my goodness.
You would think this is just SGA playing against himself.
Yeah. Exactly. We love the
I know you liked that.
We love the intra-division slander. But dude, okay, you cannot. If the Nuggets had lost this game scoring over 120 points, getting fouled almost 30 times and shooting over 30 free throws, we would have been very livid about that.
They shot 54% from the field and 41 from 3 and barely beat Utah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, it probably felt like as a Nuggets fan, you're 0-3 this week. in many ways.
It did feel at that point. It did kind of feel like that. Yeah.
They needed the Lakers game so bad. I mean, not just because of the positional and standing stuff you talked about. Guys, they would have been panic time if they lost to the Lakers.
That would have not been good. If you fall to 6th seed at this point in the season, that would have been a massive momentum swing.
But again, the Nuggets defense showed up next game.
Yes, they did.
There were moments where Luka and LeBron, which you and I have had personal conversations about this. I think LeBron is incredibly annoying, but I just continue to get more impressed. That guy's like 41 and he's still amazing. He's so amazing. Him and Luka had some moments where just, okay, they're just going to make shots that other people can't guard. They got 3 of the top 25 shot makers in the league on their team. But turns out that's most of the team. And they found a way. I think they played really, really well in this game, at least on defense. I think there were moments where it was a little sluggish on offense. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. This was, again, not a season-defining win, but like something like kept them from the abyss in many ways.
You know what, dude? I said the Nuggets would win this game 112 or 109. And with less than 2 minutes left in this game, it was 112-110 Nuggets. So for the last 2 minutes of this game, I was rooting nobody score for the rest of the game, and it ended up being 120-113.
You missed
all those free throws.
You weren't predicting Jackson Hayes to have 19 points in this game.
Well, in some sense, I kind of was. I don't think he scored any of the additional 4 points that they had above my point target for them. So I'll take credit for Jackson Hayes getting 19 points. What are you going to do about that?
I will remind you that we skipped over this. The role player of the week that we never predicted, Kyle Filipowski, had 19 points.
Oh, shout out Kyle Filipowski.
We should have. Yeah. He started in this game, but that is the role player that would randomly kick the Nuggets' butt.
It would be.
Maybe we can say the other word and when we're a bigger podcast. But for now, go Jesus.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my main takeaway. This game was about as close as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And
this is another game where you have to be really frustrated they didn't take enough threes.
We'll get to that when we start talking about our player analysis, because I might be willing to adapt my perspective on this issue. But for the time being, I was a little bit upset. I was like, But then again, I mean, you think about it, they struggle to get threes occasionally in the rhythm of their offense, depending on who's out on the court with this current set of people, because you need a facilitator who's not Jokic and Jamal to be able to kind of make that happen.
Which is why Tyus is so important to this team.
Right. So it's like I can only complain for so long about the fact that they're not taking or making more threes. And I just have to accept the fact that they're a very high percentage team. They don't take many of them, and yet they still score over 120 a game.
The point is they make them all, it feels like. So, your point's never going to die.
Yeah.
They're 45% in this game. That's good enough.
It's good enough. They only made 14 of them and took 31 of them. So,
which means if they shoot like the Celtics in this game, they score 150 points.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. They just don't believe that that's something they should do. It's not a part of their philosophy of attack.
Can I have a quick side note? Can you imagine Joe Mazzulla coaching this team?
Oh, brother.
Okay, but back to this game. I would love to hear your again, thought they played really well, but would love to hear what you have to think.
I mean, that's about all I think about this. I mean, you got Jamal and Joker carrying again. That's what this entire week was. We'll get to that a little bit later on too. But Jamal had a really good shooting game from 3, which was good to see because he's kind of been inconsistent in the last few weeks with that. Some weeks he'll be like 3 of 6 on average, and then some weeks he'll be 2 of 10. There was a week he was 2 of 10 on average from 3. He didn't play a ton of games that week, but the point is he got in the rhythm with his threes, and that was a very helpful sight to see. But also, Tim Hardaway. Your Tim Hardaway prediction from last week was that he would score 9 points on 2 of 7 shooting.
Oh, in this game specifically?
In this game specifically, against the Los Angeles
I do remember
Lakers.
actually saying that.
You did say that. I went back and checked the tape explicitly because
he took the same amount of shots.
He took that number of shots. You were correct about that. But I'm going to say that I was actually closer to being right about this because I said he would have 24 points in this game. And if you think about it,
build the statue. Get the sculptor over here now. I will never stop beating you on this point.
If you think about it, I said he scored 24 points. He scored 14. So he actually scored over half of the amount of points that I thought he would score. And he did score exactly 2 times more shots quantitatively.
He scored closer to what I said than what you said. And that's all.
Everything's a matter of perspective. I look at the shots taken. You look at the points put out.
This is not a religious conversation, Chris. Even though it's getting to be close to that with you and Tim Hardaway. I mean,
me and Tim Hardaway, and then me and the Rockies, obviously. Yeah.
You need to you two need to go to therapy and work it out. Yeah. Okay. Upcoming week. Still a hard schedule, but I think in some ways a more manageable. In some ways, I think this is a week where, it's a week they really need to gain ground, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, first we have to talk about the contributors who are going to hopefully contribute this upcoming week.
I love that I keep getting sped up here. I'm Joe Mazzulla trying to speed up the pace. You're Jason Tatum wanting to walk up the ball up the court.
You just really can't wait to avenge the fact that I won 3 of the 4 games this last week.
Did I not win the Utah game?
No, you did not win the Utah game.
Really? Can we go back on that one real quick?
What do you think you predicted for the Utah game?
I predicted the Nuggets to win, but barely.
No.
Did I predict the Nuggets to kill the Utah?
You picked the Nuggets to win by 19 against Utah.
Oh, I thought I had it closer than that. Oh, man.
125 to 106.
What did you pick?
I said 128, 114. So I had their point output spot on. I just didn't anticipate them giving up an extra 11 points.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
Oh, man. I believe the 5th. Let's go back. Let's go back to contributors.
Back to contributors it is, just for Garrett's sake, before we get into this upcoming week. And
one has to be Cam. It has to be Cam.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna read you the order of the minutes. You tell me who you think had the highest plus minus and then the lowest plus minus. Okay, so here are the 10 people who played this week in order of minutes played. All right, Jamal averaged 41 minutes a game this week. Okay, Joker averaged 39. Christian Brown played about 39. Cam Johnson played 32. Hardaway played 31. Bruce Brown.
Too many.
Yeah. Bruce Brown played 29 and a half. Julian Strawther played 22 and a half minutes. Pickett, your boy Pickett got back in for a little bit. 12 and a half minutes. Zeke Naji.
My point is dead on that guy, I think.
You're welcome.
You buried me early there.
I did. And Jonas Valanciunas, 11 minutes. So those were your key contributors this week. Who had the highest plus minus?
Interesting. One, tell me if it's Jokic or Murray. I don't think it is.
It is.
Okay, great. So I'm going to say it's Murray. It's Jokic still.
Actually, Jokic.
Which is just so insane. We've been minor league. You have allowed me to minorly complain about him for 3 weeks.
You're welcome.
He's still so awesome, man.
He's so awesome. He averaged 27, 14, and 10 this week.
Is that good?
I don't know about that, averaged 5 turnovers a game this week, which is
that's the piece that's been it's not what you usually see from him.
20% from 3 this week.
Yeah, he's 2 for 10 in the OKC game and basically stayed that way for the rest of the week.
Yeah, so that's a little.
That has to come up.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to. He's going to shoot 70% from 3 for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not this week, but next week.
Yeah, but he had the highest plus and minus this week of those 10, 6.8. So team was good when he was on the court. I know. Surprise, surprise.
Is Christian Brown and Julian Strawther in the top 5
of plus minus for this week?
Yeah.
They both are.
Yeah, because I actually think that the stats don't tell the story. Even though Brown had good stats some of these games, those guys are really effective when they're out there. And it's good because you had put out a piece on our Instagram about guys. There's real concern with where Christian Brown's at. They're giving him a lot of money, and he hasn't really performed. But he plays really hard when he's out there. I don't think anybody connected to Jokic faster than Christian Brown did.
No, Christian Brown is the perfect Jokic buddy.
He just has to shoot.
Baby buddy.
He just has to shoot. And that's really the only thing. Continue to bring consistent effort on defense and shoot when he's open.
Well, you might be surprised about this. How many threes per game did you think he averaged this week?
Make or attempts? Okay. It was more this week, I think.
I'll give you here.
6?
It was 5.3. Yeah. Yeah. So He listens to your advice. The problem is that he made 1.5 of those. 5.
Well, he went to Kansas, and not all of us are perfect.
Yeah.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Now back to how many times do I have to go back to? The reverse transitions are on point today.
It's beautiful. You love
Thank
to
you.
see it.
Yeah.
He actually had the second highest plus minus this week, Christian Brown.
He's very important to the team.
Yeah.
Because even when if P. Watt and Gordon start together, which I think that you were talking about that idea, I think that's probably the best lineup. If Watson can make threes, Christian Brown is locked down that 2 spot, and he's not giving it up. So I think he'll be really big in the playoffs.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, his hustle will he'll leak out and have some really big dunks to just ignite the crowd. You know, he'll do that.
Right, for sure on those breakaways. Yeah, so Christian Brown was good. Who had the worst plus minus this week? Is it obvious? It should be pretty obvious.
Jalen Pickett, isn't it?
Jalen Pickett? You want to know something? You know who had the 3rd highest plus minus this week?
Jalen Pickett.
Jalen Pickett.
So my point is still alive. Look at this, guys. When he gets 3 years, $10 million, and is the backup point guard on a championship team next year, Chris, I'm going to put you in a chokehold on live. I am just telling you, that is so gonna. I think he's so good. I don't care, bro. I don't care.
There's no way.
He might just not. Adelman and him might just not mesh. There's a good player in there. You know it.
No, well, here's the thing. He plays well despite not having any regular minutes most of the time.
Right.
And he comes right off the bench and he does incredibly.
Right.
So it's like, I don't blame Adelman for not playing him, because it's like when when all the guys you want to do well aren't doing well, you're just like, all right, Jalen, go in there and give us the 3rd highest plus minus of the team this week. You know, and he'll do it.
Like, you know what Jared McCain's doing right now for the Thunder? Jalen Pickett's going to be that guy for somebody else. I'm right. It's going to hurt you, and it's going to extinguish me, or might I say ignite me. I will be coming in and walking on flames like that meme whenever that happens. Right. We'll get to that next year.
Yeah, we will. But 80% from the field for Pickett.
It's Cam Johnson.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Plus minus?
Yeah, this is Cam Johnson.
Yeah. I really wanted to see you crack. It worked.
Who could it be?
Guys, it is bad.
What is his plus minus this last week?
Oh my goodness. Is it really bad?
I don't. Well, yes.
Minus 27?
Oh, that's really bad.
That's what I asked him. It was really bad.
No, it's really bad. It's just not that really bad.
They were 2-2. It couldn't have been that bad. Okay, like minus 13?
Minus 19.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
He's more than a possession or more than a 3-pointer down each game. It's just like, yeah, bro.
He did nothing well this week besides lead the team in blocks and free throw percentage.
Hang the banner.
Yeah. And his free throw attempts average per game was 1 for 1. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that makes you feel absolutely incredible about the guy.
Are you okay, Chris?
So this is what I'm saying, right? It's like, I like Spencer Jones. I like the fact that we have Hardaway and Valanciunas and Bruce Brown, which is all things we wouldn't have.
I've been pleasantly surprised by Bruce Brown in the last 2 weeks. He's been very good.
He has been. What do you think his plus minus was? It actually might not be as impressive as you thought.
Plus 7?
Minus 2.5.
Interesting.
Yeah, he didn't really he didn't get many assists, didn't really rebound terribly well.
Do you think that's because
he didn't really do anything.
Yeah, it's because they put him in a ball handling role that's not his role anymore, or shouldn't be his role anymore.
I like him as like an initial person to like facilitate the dump in
right
to Jokic. And then because then he kicks out, the Joker will kick out and he'll knock down a 3.
Yeah.
He shot 43% from 3 this week.
It's good.
Unlimited attempts, but that's exactly the role he was in. He'll knock it down in that situation. So I like that, but he hasn't overall been playing incredible. Probably because he's playing a forward role.
What I would just say is I think that if you see him out there, it doesn't feel like he's killing the team when he's out there.
No, he's not.
Right. Cam is. It's actively bad.
It's mostly bad because he plays. Well, I guess they play about the same number of minutes.
No, it's probably because he plays as the shooter on the team, and that doesn't make shots.
Are you ready for this? He averaged 4 points per game this week, 13% from 3. 13% from 3.
I could shoot from the logo better than 13% if I was wide open.
Yeah. Right.
I think you could.
Yeah. Right. 6 rebounds a game. Not bad. 2 assists.
He's 6'10". I hope he can get 6 rebounds a game.
Yeah. 6'8", actually.
I've seen this is one of those guys like Durant where he's a little taller than he lets on.
He does kind of feel that way.
He's like Gordon. Have you seen Gordon in person?
And no, I haven't seen Aaron Gordon in person.
He's like the Hulk, dude.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like he looks like he's like 7. He's not 7'3", but like when I was 10 rows off the court the first game, that Doc Rivers was the coach of the Bucks when Jamal had like 40 and 15 and 10. It was an awesome game. But like you see Aaron Gordon in person, he's terrifying. I think Cam's probably one of those guys too.
Yeah. It feels that way. Now Cam
really tall, but really soft.
Cam is not that heavy. Yeah, that's part of it. 210. So
yeah, I got Cam.
Yeah.
In that category.
Yeah, you do, surprisingly enough.
Well, thank you for the surprisingly enough. I don't think that was genuine, but I can appreciate that anyway.
He had like the 3rd most turnovers per game this week.
It wasn't good at all to
So
anything.
he was not good at all, which is really surprising. Again, when Spencer Jones gets back, I might that's not going to happen. Ideally, I would slot him back in there at the forward and then let Cam come off the bench because this is it's a bit ridiculous at this point.
Right.
But again, I'm very thankful that we made the trade to clear up the money that brought in all the guys it did, because without those guys, we would probably be a playing team at this point with all the injuries we've had.
Do you want a breaking news on the pod?
A breaking news on the pod. Sure.
Max Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens.
Football breaking news.
I know. I just really wanted to throw you off. This is something we will never, ever cover again.
No, it is not. But I'm sure the guys at Broncos Zone.
Yeah, if you guys are locked in
on
on this, Max Crosby to Baltimore is a really interesting move
Wow.
throughout the league. Okay,
it's quite a trade.
Yeah, it's been bad for Cam. Like I said, it's got to be now. If it's not now, I mean, he really can't start anymore if it happens just a couple more times. I really feel that way.
Yeah. So
like you can't justify 23 minutes with 0 points.
Maybe they'll try to justify it by saying he's going to be really critical to our ability to succeed in the postseason. And so since we're kind of content with the fact that we'll probably end up with home court, at least in the first round, we'll continue getting him regular minutes so he can try to get back in a rhythm before the postseason begins. That's about the only justification you have, because Spencer Jones feels a better. Spencer Jones can give you 3.5 points per game in over 30 minutes. He doesn't even get that many minutes per game, and he got an average of like 6 or 7. Wait, sorry. I'm making all these 6-7 jokes accidentally.
Nuggets are up 13-8, just so we can get a different number in there. Halfway through the first quarter, Nuggets are winning.
I'm still gonna keep my prediction.
No, we're not touching those yet. We're not lunatics.
This is gonna be
only off the air.
Only off the air, brothers.
Yes, when he loses in ping pong in like an hour.
Yeah, exactly. In about 20 minutes. Right.
That's right. No, I guess we're moving through this. Yeah. Anything you want to add before we get to the next week?
Before we get to the next week, Jamal and Joker, like we said, really carried this.
Awesome.
Week. They hardcore carry. Jamal averaged 34 points per game this week. That's insane.
That's good.
I don't want him to be burnt out for the postseason.
That's what we talked about with the Tyus thing, right?
Mm-hmm. If he doesn't put up 45 against the Jazz, we lose.
Just
think about that for a second.
That was kind of funny. You said great delivery, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was really good. It's also really sad.
It is really sad.
Utah has literally been fined $600,000 this year for how they're tanking.
Wow.
They almost beat Denver pretty.
They did.
Oh, man.
Deontay wasn't having it.
Yeah.
We've already talked about my boy Tim. Zeke Naji somehow snuck in there.
Did you see the little step back 3 he had against the Lakers?
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
I was like, what the? I almost said it. I was like, what is that?
What is that? He was
no. It's. Do you remember the Hornets announcer that just yells and screams about everything?
Yeah.
It was like it's one. I remind me of when Bismack Biyombo took a 3 out of an inbound. He was like, "Oh my,
oh my goodness." That's a very Eric
Yeah.
Collins thing.
I love that he's on NBC, by the way, now. Oh my God, that's so
great.
wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So Zeke got in there. Zeke will probably get out of there as soon as AG and Cam Johnson are healthy. So sorry about that. Weren't you a Zeke Naji proponent a few weeks ago?
No, absolutely not. I was more of like, hey, there is a Deron Holmes development plan for next year that could exist. You guys have given up a little early. He just tore his ACL last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zeke's been bad. I would actually argue that the former GM of the Nuggets, our guy that just, I don't know if you saw, he recently did an interview about why it didn't work out.
I saw he did it. I didn't see much of what he actually
really
said.
Interesting stuff. I would encourage all you guys to take a look at it. I would like to say that, hot take, that is by far the worst move Calvin Booth made, was to extend Najee in the way he did. That's easily the worst thing he's done. I don't care what the voice crack was on that. It was awful.
It's kind of like he hadn't ever really been a consistent rotational player, and you gave him $8 million a year.
And he's been bad he's unplayable every year since that.
Yeah. Literally. And unplayable and untradeable. That's crazy. Yeah.
We talk about how there's no more untradeable contracts. They haven't been thinking about our boy Zeke Najee. I guess when those people, the national analysts, say that, huh? Zeke Najee is untradeable.
Because he provides zero value.
He's the fourth
most of the time,
4 or 5 on a team.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got lots of potential with the size and the shot.
When you see it connect, the 3 or 4 games every year it does, like, oh, that's the guy we saw at Arizona. But like, it's 3 or 4 games a year, and the other 65 he doesn't play in, and the other few games he's awful.
Okay, I'm actually going to backtrack on what I just said there real quick. He was not bad for the 1 year, I think, before they extended him. Because if you'll remember, he got in pretty regularly for a lot of that season.
No, you're right.
But he shot like over 50% from 3.
He has been dreadful now for 3 years in a row?
Yeah. But you know what happened after that season? Because remember, he had an ugly looking jump shot. They decided to change his technique to make it prettier. And since they did that, he's been really bad.
The results have not been as pretty.
No.
What you're saying.
Yeah. And so they extended a guy and then changed the guy they extended. So it's like, I guess that's kind of their fault. And our loss. But
how many times does development coaches just getting a little bit too involved actually kind of screw people?
Just kind of disappointing.
It's one way or the other, right? You get the reclamation project like a Kawhi Leonard type, or you get the things that people were suggesting to Ben Simmons. It seems like it's one or the other a lot of the time. Do you think what do you think about Jonas? We haven't talked about him a ton on the pod in general. Do you think he's still a serviceable backup big?
He's fine.
It's probably not what you wanted when you got him, right?
I wanted the hope that we could have a serviceable backup big. And then I got until he got hurt in January, I got a pretty decent backup big. Yeah. So coming back from injury hasn't been great for him, kind of like Joker. But
I'm not sure he plays 10 minutes in the playoffs. He might play 8.
Well, that's all we need him for, because Joker's going to play a ton of minutes.
I just hope he doesn't wear down. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
It's first year really that Joker's been actually injured during the regular season, basically since before COVID.
Yeah, and for that long, I don't think he's ever had an injury.
That's what I'm saying. He's had things that'll knack him. He'll be off a day or two here and there, but this is the first time he's had a serious injury. Is it in his career, or is it probably back to? I can't even talk. It'd be back to his first or second year in the league. I think it's the last time there's been a serious injury for him.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
Right. I'm not sure there is one there. I'm saying I think if there was,
it would have to be
real early when they had those. When Jokic was a 4 next to Nurkic, you have to love those teams for obvious reasons.
Nurkic, wow, prime Jokic. See what I did there? I'm just anyway. Let's move on to the final segment.
Yusuf Nurkic almost beat the Nuggets on Wednesday.
Oh, no.
Wait, not Wednesday. Sorry, they played Monday.
He didn't even play.
That's right.
He almost beat Denver. The spirit of Yusuf Nurkic
that's a much better way of putting it.
The Denver Nuggets on
Monday game at OKC again.
Yeah, so here's the book on OKC last 2 weeks. All right. They've been, like I said, bottom.
Not that great.
Bottom 10 offense last 2 weeks, but top 10 defense. Here's their last 3 games. All right. They beat a bad Dallas team by 13 at Dallas. They beat a poor offensive but top 10 defensive Chicago Bulls by 8 at Chicago. And then, like we mentioned earlier, they beat New York by 3 at New York, a New York team that mid-offensively, top literally number 1 in the league defensively last 2 weeks. So that's what we're working with coming into this week. Nuggets, again, top 10 offense and defense. Going back to OKC, we just talked about it earlier. They were winning that game up until the last 4 minutes of the game.
So do you think they get the revenge?
That's the question. What's the injury report looking like for that game? Do you have that pulled up? Yeah.
Great question. Let me get it pulled up right here, since I am literally right in the middle of this.
Because it could technically be possible that we get AG back.
So Peyton Watson is also projected to be back for this game.
Right.
Brandon Carlson, Adonai Mitchell, and Jalen Williams, and Hartenstein, and Caruso all might be back for this game for OKC. So OKC might also be fully healthy in this one.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. I'm gonna make my prediction first. I really don't see it happening. I can't get there with the
There's
Nuggets.
pain in your voice.
I know, because it's like they almost did literally a week ago. And it's like, I want to say the Nuggets win this game by 4. But I'm taking a look at this offensive rating. I'm taking a look at this defensive rating. And I'm going to just have to come to the conclusion that this is going to be a close regulation loss of 111 to 107.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready for mine?
Yeah.
Give me Denver 116-114.
Wow. Okay.
I think that there is actually some. Denver has always played OKC better than a lot of teams have. And I think they're going to be out for blood in this one, dude. And also, it's interesting the way OKC has their substitution patterns, because they play. It feels like if they could, they'd play 20 guys every game.
And
they really
probably
would.
could.
Right. Exactly. Their 20 is better than the Denver's 9. It's like,
yeah.
But all those guys coming back, I all see them going slow into that game. Caruso, Hartenstein, Jalen Williams was awful when he came back originally. Adonai Mitchell was awesome, but I think that with the ankle, I think you'll see him come back a little slower. Brandon Carlson's not even going to play. That guy's not worth a crap. He just hit a couple threes every once in a while when nobody else is playing. Yeah, I think they might have found something on defense with what they did against the Lakers. I actually think they're going to win this one. And this is also a good time to play OKC.
Yeah.
Just is.
Okay.
They've been middling since the play-in tournament. They've just been fine since literally the Spurs snatched the soul of them. They were on pace to be the best team in the league, or best team ever by a lot. And then Victor and Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox ate their lunch. Secretly, just they're just barely above average since then. They're 24-1. They've been 25-14 since then. Doesn't that surprise you?
That's kind of, they've also been hurt, kind of.
Right, but again, the depth that an OKC has is so much greater than any other team. It shouldn't matter in the same way.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, okay. So ultimately, you're picking the Nuggets.
Absolutely.
So you picked the Nuggets to lose at home against the Knicks, but you picked the Nuggets to beat Oklahoma City at Oklahoma City, even though the Knicks lost at home against Oklahoma City.
Do you think the NBA is really that linear?
No, it's not. But I just wanted to say that. So it's
on
the record.
I was prepared, sweetheart.
Hey,
sorry. Also, again, hopefully Tabea did not hear that me just call her husband sweetheart. Yeah.
The bromance is real. I said that a while ago too. Hey, can you
to her or to the audience?
I think to the audience, actually. Okay. Can you take a look at the box score tonight for the Knicks game? Is Aaron Gordon playing?
Wrapping up the first quarter right now. Aaron Gordon is starting in this game, by the way, which I was kind of surprised by.
Is Cam Johnson playing?
He started alongside him.
Yeah. Okay. Was Spencer Jones?
Spencer Jones has not gotten the game yet. Julian, Bruce Brown, and Tim Hardaway have all played. Shocker, Tim Hardaway's hasn't made a shot.
He's taken one shot.
No, but
okay, fine.
29-25 so far. Jokic has got 10. Murray's got 9. So kind of the same script.
Cool. Hey, maybe they'll shock us.
Gordon missed a couple threes.
I should have anticipated. No, because when he came back the first time in January, I was like, they'll beat the Brooklyn Nets, and they lost to Brooklyn, even though they got Christian and AG back in that game.
Does that mean you're allowing me 2 minutes on Michael Porter Jr.? Say no. You better say no.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, on to Houston. Third game of this week. All right, here's the wrap on Houston. Houston over the last 2 weeks, top 10 offensive team, barely out of the top 10 defensive team. So pretty much a top 10 offensive and defensive team. All right. Actually, almost the exact same offensive and defensive rating as the Nuggets. Their last 3 games look like this. They went to Miami, beat Miami by 10. That's not quite the that you might think it is. Miami's actually been top 10 offensively and defensively last.
It's only because they run. Miami's a joke of a team.
They are. Yeah. They've been a pretty hot joke of a team recently. But, okay, so they beat.
A hot joke of a team. Do you want to try to expound on that one?
Another time. So then they went to Washington.
20 minutes from now.
You wish.
This is going off the rails.
This is so great. Washington. Okay. So they went to Washington and they beat Washington by less than they beat Miami. I go figure. Okay. Washington bottom 10 in both offense and defense last 2 weeks.
They probably didn't think they needed to show up to that game. It's the Wizards, dude. By the way, Trae Young's back in the Trae Young played.
Oh, okay. So that might be a part of it. Didn't realize
he
that.
Played the game after, but I'm saying Trae Young just recently played. I don't think he played in that game. So
never mind.
But yeah, Trae Young's fun.
He's fun. He's not good defensively, which might explain this one.
I genuinely think I'm better on defense than Trae Young.
But
would you agree with that?
Potentially.
That's pretty encouraging. It's an NBA player.
That's true. You're bigger than him. Anyway. No, I'm kind of joking about that. Anyway, Golden State. They played Golden State at home and they lost to Golden State by 2, 115-113.
There is something about that team when they don't have Steph, huh? It just kind of creeps up on you.
It's a mid Golden State team that just beats all
awful when
teams.
They don't have Steph. Like, I mean, you couldn't pay me to watch a game when they don't have Steph.
Yeah, so they're literally mid. But
you're so young, man. It's blowing right now.
Okay, so the Nuggets play Houston. They've had some pretty cinematic games this year already.
Right.
Who wins this game? It's in Denver.
Okay. I actually like Denver in this one as well. Give me Denver 119-113.
119-113.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You've seen Houston play a lot better since the another KD burner got leaked. I think he had some motivation to kind of quiet the crowd there. I kind of like them. I think, especially with the guys back, this is the length that Houston hasn't really got to face Denver with in a while. So I think the defense is already looking really good and I think you could say getting Watson and Gordon back's not going to hurt the defense. There's no chance. So, I like this game for Denver. What about you?
So here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
For whatever reason, my formula is not working. I wanted to see what the average of those numbers is, but they're generally between 111 and 120. The offensive ratings that they played that last week. Gave up 105. They gave up 118. They gave up 115. I think the Nuggets are probably pretty safe to score over 115 in this game. I also think the Nuggets are probably pretty safe to give up close to over 115 in this game. So I'm going to say the Nuggets beat Houston 119, 116.
A little closer. Okay. I like that.
Okay. So wait. Oh, I didn't even realize you picked 119. I didn't even think about that. All right. Okay. So I'm pretty much picking.
Jesus still loves you.
Thankfully. So
right.
I am picking this to be 3 points closer than you are.
Okay.
But the same result.
Right.
We're both picking a win. All right.
Not going to be an easy game by any means.
No, not at all. All right. San Antonio.
Oh, man. It just keeps getting harder. Oh, my gosh.
They play like the absolute utter gauntlet the next 2 weeks. Whoever scheduled this NBA schedule just did not have.
You say that, but didn't they get to play Philly at home, at Memphis, Toronto, and got Portland at home, and maybe Phoenix without Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks? They just got to survive this stretch. They're going to mollywop the next 9 or 10 teams they play, I would think. So
I hope so.
They have to. I mean, also, let's just say that too.
Yeah,
they have to.
But it won't happen against San Antonio. I don't.
No, this is a. I mean, I don't know if you agree. I think this is by far the hardest game they have all week.
Well, I think so, because you're playing the team that has crushed the team that you'll probably barely be able to compete against.
And OKC, yeah.
OKC. So, all right, last 3 games for San Antonio. San Antonio, by the way, 117 offensive rating, 105 defensive rating.
They're awesome on defense.
They're
top out of control.
7 in the NBA the last 2 weeks. They got crushed by the Knicks.
Right.
Okay.
They did.
Then they went on to crush Philadelphia by 40
In Philly.
Which
is not an easy game.
Yeah. Well, they're mid the last
Philly's
2 weeks.
fine, but
Philly's
like
mid, very mid.
They have a bunch of young, really fun guys. It's kind of a weird game to play.
Fair enough. And then they crushed Detroit. Okay.
Which is
terrifying.
Yes.
That was at home. They crushed Detroit.
Still. Ouch.
But now here's the thing. That Detroit team had not been playing very well. They've been kind of mid that last 2 weeks. All right. So
still the team that was tied with the Thunder recently for the best record in the league. Thunder took it back over, but
it's true. Okay. I'm really looking at this Knicks loss that San Antonio had. That was a Knicks team that just crushed them defensively.
Is that a repeatable effort for Denver?
Well, see, San Antonio gave up about the same number of points as that offensive rating for the Knicks.
Yeah.
I might surprise you.
Oh my gosh, no way. No way.
I'm going to surprise everyone here on the pod. And you know what? You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say that Denver goes into San Antonio
and loses.
And wins.
There's no way, dude.
By a score of 117, 112.
Okay. This is going to be the make or break, I think, game for us this week. I got San Antonio winning 125-104.
Oh, here we go.
I think this is like you're always on your on pins and needles waiting for me to pick a blowout.
That's the blowout.
That's the one, I think. I hate this matchup for Denver. They're actually also a little bit structured the way Minnesota was in Minnesota beat Denver, where there's so many good perimeter defenders to throw at Murray. De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle is amazing.
And it's not going to matter.
And you're not a believer in Harrison Barnes this year?
It's not
Julian Champagny?
Julian Barnes, 15 years ago?
Julian Barnes?
Wait a second.
Harrison Barnes wasn't even in the league 15 years ago. You infant, I swear. I am going to destroy you when we play ping pong in 10 minutes just because of the way you're talking about my generation. Harrison Barnes is the number 1 overall recruit.
In what, 2012?
It was actually before that, yeah.
Oh, I have to go full send on this because it's the largest difference in a game that we've picked this
again.
week.
This might make or break the year for us. This game, right? In many ways, it could.
Yeah, because right now, in terms of the net differential of
a
our
lot.
Scores, I mean, I'm within 12 points of you. We're both on the negative side, but I'm within 12 points. You're 6-5. I'm 5-6, and just the head-to-head record
That's a
matchup.
bummer.
We're pretty darn close here. That's a massive make or break for the net rating.
Totally agree.
But it's gonna go my way. So,
final thoughts for you, my friend, as we're wrapping up.
Final thoughts. I think that this will be a very interesting week for the Nuggets because they're kind of at that stage where they're expecting to get pretty much everyone who's not healthy back.
Right.
And they'll have just enough time to play a good amount of diverse teams in terms of strength to the point where I think we'll get a good feel for if they can actually be chemistry aligned enough to be able to achieve what I think that they can achieve, at least I've thought from the beginning of the year that they can achieve, which is winning a championship this year if they stay healthy. So, yeah, I think this will be a very interesting week to watch. I think that there's a lot of optimism that we should have for them getting healthy, getting everyone back in a rhythm. So, yeah, that's kind of my final takeaways. What about you, my friend?
I would say you wish that Gordon and Watson could have come back in like that Utah game. It would have been a nice way to work their way into this. No time to really ramp up. You're playing hard teams the next 5 games because even after this week, you got to play in LA on Saturday. Another really hard game. But there's no time to wait. It's go time. It's got to be now for Cam. It's got to be now for is Peyton Watson's 3-pointer still there? It's got to be go time for, hey, can Tyus actually help this offense and give Jamal Murray real opportunities to break while not crushing the team on the court? We're talking about the non-Jokic minutes, and those things are actually been fixed for the most part this year just because of how good Jamal's been and a lot of the bench. But it's it's got to start to come together. You're seeing national anthems for a reason, by the way, start to really fall off the Denver train because it's been a bad week. It's been a really bad week. They could have been 1-3 this week. But reasons for optimism. Jokic has been better. Murray's been amazing. Everybody's coming back. The defense looked really good in that last game. And they still have the best player in the world.
Nikola Jokic at the center of it all.
I'm just glad you didn't say Tim Hardaway. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe on YouTube. I think we're live on Twitter and Insta today as well.
Just Twitter. The Insta didn't work out.
That's okay. Totally good. But obviously new platform. We're really excited about the change. Chris is a lot cooking and I'm part of, I think, the things he's throwing in the oven. But I am excited for what this next period is for our team. And we hope to continue to be able to serve you guys well with good Nuggets coverage. Do we have any comments?
We do not have any comments. My father was not here.
Mr. Nelson. He just didn't want to talk to me ever again after I said that thing about Deron Holmes. He's like, nah, I'm so done with this guy.
I'm done.
Believable.
But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow. I know it sounds generic, but we will genuinely respond to your comments. And we look very forward to seeing who will pull ahead here in the final weeks of the regular season with our head-to-head competition. So please let us know your game predictions as well so we can see just how exactly close we are to reasonableness.
What he said. Go Nugs. See y'all later.
Adios, amigos. Till next week. Take care. Peace out.